And
So tick, tick, tick for
tick,
X
tick,
and...
tick there. We're good to go.
All right, see if they're coming out.
Give it about 30 seconds, because swap that one over. Life's busy. Life's busy. Wouldn't be dead for quids, eh?
No.
Not at all. And that looks like it's firing on all cylinders as well. That's good news. And I think we're cooking with gas.
Okay, kitty cats, we're going to... What will we do? The intro tonight. We'll do the intro.
We better do the intro. That's always important to say hello to everybody.
Welcome to Do Spin Doctors for Thursday, the 26th of March 2026. My name's Anthony Irvine. I'm a councillor on Temora Shire Council, but none of the views I express here are those of Temora Shire Council or even expressed as a councillor. They're my personal and private views expressed as a free citizen of Australia.
Oh, goodness gracious me. And I'm Dean McRae, for those of you who do or don't know me. And apparently I'm a bit of a professional shit stirrer, troublemaker, offending of the sensitive and the... look, actually, realistically, that's all fun and well. I think the only people I tend to upset are the people who are really fucking shady motherfuckers. I think the people that I make really, really uncomfortable are the people who fucking deserve to feel really, really uncomfortable. So no apologies there. I wear t-shirts like this one. This is this week's fine fucking offering from, I don't know, whatever eBay store I found the bastard on. I've had people all day going, where do we get that? You know, is this going to you? Did you design it? I mean, I'm not that clever. I have fucking, for the life of me, can't work out how to get this t-shirt store up and running. I just found it on eBay. I typed in dead pedophiles t-shirt, and this has come up. So I bought this with my money, and they sent it out in a package.
That's nice.
Oh, lovely. That's fantastic. So that's how the t-shirt came about.
Okay, first things first. We've been behind the scenes in our high-tech world. We've trying to work on the back end and improve the broadcast quality because it has slipped a little. We had it going pretty well early, but then in the last month or so, we've just
had a few problems.
But we've, with our extensive budget, we've invested. We've done a couple of upgrades. So I think
it's fair to say you've done a couple of upgrades. I just show up as usual and
I just googled how to improve the broadcast quality of the StreamYard video, and it gave us a few tips. So we're using a different browser tonight. We actually got to the point of getting our hard cable in place and having it tested, and we're absolutely, there's packets going left, right, and centre. So they're all doing their thing. So
feedback throughout the night, as always, is always welcome. And it doesn't just have to be feedback on the quality, but if the audio is better and the visual's better and everything else is, running a treat, let us know. We do appreciate it. We want to give a quality product.
I've been checking it. It's been a bit glitchy. It's been a bit laggy. It's not at your end. It's been definitely at our end. So hopefully
we've got some of that tackled. But yeah. And of course, if you want to just participate in the chat, there is a chat there. However you do it, I'm usually not on the other side of these things. So, but you're more than welcome to pop in questions, thoughts, ideas. If if I can share it with the people, I'll share it with the people. But most importantly, thank you all for joining in. Obviously, Australia is in a world of hurt at the moment, and as usual, our government's doing everything to fuck everybody sideways. If nothing else, the Australian government for the last at least 40 years has been very, very consistent in managing the decline of this great country and doing their level best to turn it into a fucking debacle.
As has the whole world, as we've just run lemming-like off the cliff. And look, you know what? If you want to blame someone, have a look in the fucking mirror. Because you people have sat back and allowed it to happen.
No, we people.
Oh, that's what I mean.
Look, we're guilty. I'm guilty. Yeah. We the people have allowed this shit to go on,
and we have not put the foot down, and we have not actually jacked up.
We haven't jacked up anywhere near to the degree with which we need to. That's for sure.
So pretty much you get the government you deserve. So we've got the government we deserve. We've allowed them to sell us up the river. We've all sat there and voted with our 10 cents cheaper.
With our apathy.
And allowed them just to basically sell our birthrights and our sovereign wealth out from under us. And here we are now in the middle of a fuel crisis where we could realistically be 70% self-sufficient in that space, and we should have meaningful reserves considering the amount of energy that we export as a nation. We should be self-sufficient, and we should have shit tons of reserves of the hydrocarbons that we so desperately need. However, we haven't. But that's the same thing as not having a manufacturing sector and not having the ability to produce pharmaceuticals and not having all these other things that we don't do, all these other things, because we've exported all of those jobs.
We've outsourced
to other countries.
Everything, literally everything we've outsourced.
Yes. What haven't we outsourced? Sitting on our ass, doing nothing, whinging
without action.
We do that. We do that a lot. Yeah, we're really good at it.
Some people would argue we do that here every week.
No, we don't whinge. We offer solutions, and we actually hold a mirror up to society and say, have a look at this. I know it's ugly and you don't want to look, but have a look. You know,
it's pretty scary stuff, mate. Well, I made a post the other day because I had a couple of weeks, as you know, where I was pretty well strapped down, bootstrapping. Absolutely, this little freight business in particular needed a bit of extra love.
Yeah, well, you're not down to like having these, but like yours were issues prior to the most recent.
Yeah, there was a few little curveballs, and then that curveball's upgraded the curveball. But anyway, I did a lot less daily posting, which is where these things happen. And one of the posts that I put up the other day, and I can't remember one of the first or second ones that I did kind of back after a half hiatus, I suppose you would call it, was pointing out that if we had a leader with some spine, and I half mentioned it last week, somebody who grabbed the thing by the scruff of the neck, they're going to turn around and instead of elbow ringing and, look, fuck, we haven't got any diesel, please don't send it too quickly because we've made $300 million in the last couple of weeks off the GST alone for the amount of, now these prices have gone through the roof and we've got a really big budget hole, but I need to be seen to be doing something to solve a crisis that isn't a crisis because there isn't a crisis. I told you there wasn't a crisis, but by fuck, there's a crisis.
That little windfall that he's enjoyed with the GST will pale into insignificance when we see the loss in productivity.
But none of them care.
No, well, they will.
They're kicking the can along.
Yes.
And it's not just the GST, it's the fuel excise as well.
Yes, but it's all going to pale. It's insignificant.
As those prices go up, those parasites come up.
And there'll be a certain point where there's nothing to sell, and everyone will be unemployed.
We already know that. They don't care. But I'll tell you what, here's what somebody with some nuts would do. They'd ring all these countries that turn around and get our gas and our coal and all of our other resources. And they'd ring them. There will be a phone call. Hi, how you doing? Xi Jinping. Guess what, buddy? Here's how it's going to be. No more fucking coal for you until we've got all the diesel we need.
So the thing is, Xi just say, that's okay, we'll get off Brazil.
That's cool.
That's okay, we'll get off someone else.
Cool, no problem. You do that. Happy days. Thanks very much.
Yeah.
Next guy. If you want to go elsewhere, go elsewhere. But until we've got diesel, you're getting fucking nothing.
Yeah.
By the way, right? The deals are going to be renegotiated. So all these companies
that you're talking about, that's the same tactic Trump employed, and it hasn't worked out really well for him. Look, the thing is, and what we've got to remember is, yes, it is mutually beneficial for these companies to receive our iron ore because it might be of a higher quality, but they're not dependent on it.
No.
The biggest issue we've got is they've got alternative options. We haven't.
Well,
that's the whole thing. So Albo's negotiating from a position of no strength.
We do have, and I don't look, guys. And I know a lot of people say Dean, you, Sam Bamford, and Chocky, and whoever else should all get on the same page. I don't know those guys. I know who they are. I have a feeling they might have half an idea who I am. We don't know each other. I'm sure it might happen at some point. We'll have a beer or something. Life's good. But I did catch Sam Bamford talking to Bridget McKenzie this morning. She's been reasonably cognizant lately, which has been good. And I think he said 200 million barrels of oil down under South Australia. 200 million, 200 billion.
There's plenty.
The number was fucking off its head. Anyway, there's more than enough there to carry on for a long time coming. And all we've got to do is drill, baby, drill.
But even to the point that if we're exporting all this LNG, why aren't we importing diesel.
That's my point. Where's the quid pro quo?
Because
deal
we've been sold up the river by our
for
politicians
so long.
Yes, and all of our assets have now become basically worthless in the eyes of
we've been raped and pillaged, and our politicians for the last, and I keep saying 40 years, I've got some older bloke going off his head, but we got a long fucking that arsehole rapping about. Well, I'm 45.
Little Johnny Howard, that everyone says was the last politician with any guts, he was the one who actually tied Australia's gas price to the international gas price.
Yeah.
And basically now, as the world gas price inflates, we get reamed.
Yes.
Yeah, again, thanks, Johnny, you ripper.
You little gun-grabbing comments.
No.
Fuck.
Again, it's another one of Johnny's little, landmines that he just sort of
left them everywhere. Fucking left them everywhere.
And he's blown
and
feet off everywhere.
But, look, we've got everything we need here, right? The only thing we don't have is a super-duper powerful army. And any of my veteran friends that are watching, please feel free to clarify for me. If we get attacked, we're pretty well fucked without somebody like the US having our back. There's 2 tenths of not much.
The US are going to be a bit busy.
Look,
get here. We can ring up
one of the videos I made the other day was I actually think they're a bit beyond busy. I think they're trying to fucking keep the empire alive.
There's an element of that.
I think they're about to collapse and go the way of the Roman Empire and the British Empire and all the other empires. I think this is where
Custer's last stand.
I think this is where we're at, to be perfectly honest with you. So whoever the next superpower is, hopefully we're going to be friendly with them, depending on whether we like them or not, or hopefully we'll have the nuts. But as a military goes, I'm imagining there's a couple of boats out on Lake Centenary that'll probably hold it down and handle their business. There's some standing warriors floating around fucking somewhere. But in and of itself, I don't think the Australian military is anywhere near as strong as it once was.
We've got some capability, but we haven't got enough of that capability. And
a couple of canoes we can send over to the.
But the same thing applies. What on earth does anyone want to invade for, and how organised do they have to be to actually invade and infiltrate?
Yeah.
You land in the Kimberley, and then you go overland for 5,000 k's. You've got to have a pretty long supply chain to resource that
to make it work. Yeah, that's right.
And when you get here, what do you find? A bunch of vaping drongos who are sitting on the lounge, and it's like, what do you win? Nothing.
Yeah, well, but the reality is we're a shit ton of land, we're a shit ton of resources.
Yeah.
The fact that our population has become so
useless,
doped out drongos.
Yeah.
It's fucking really sad. They're apathetic, and we deserve better than that, and we need better than that.
But the thing is, previous generations have lost their lives to give us the way of life we enjoy, and then people just give it away for nothing. But again, we've outsourced everything. We've outsourced our thinking. We've outsourced our military.
We need to drill our fuel out of the ground. We need to get our fertiliser manufacturing going again. We need to make sure that Australia has the cheapest electricity in the world, first and foremost. I don't care how you get it. I don't care if it's a combination of solar panels, nuclear, wind farms, fucking ton of coal, lots and lots of coal, all the gas we've got. Australians should be paying nothing more than a connection fee for their electricity in their homes and their businesses. And any Australian business should effectively be able to operate without a power bill in this country if we were fair income. And then what we do is we turn around and we do all these deals that we're going to do with every other country, and we go, cool, we're happy to sell you whatever's left over. Come and buy a ton of our gas.
Yeah.
But you're not getting it at discount rates. We are no longer the $2 shop.
But this is what's going to happen. The way that the world's going to develop is it is going to become more localized, and we are that far behind the 8 ball with actually revitalizing all of these lost sectors. The brain drain of manufacturing that's occurred in this country in the last 25, 30 years. We lost the car industry. We've lost all of those superfluous.
Yeah, but it's okay because there's a luxury car tax on imports, so that will continue to have manufacturing.
If you've
we
got
still have car manufacturing in Australia, don't we?
No.
No, we must do. We have to, because there's a luxury car tax there to protect that manufacturing industry.
No,
I have to put it in form sometimes. Luxury car tax.
And again, China has beaten the world to the punch, and China is making probably the best, cheapest, most advanced motor vehicles on the planet as we speak.
Oh shit, yeah, they're rolling out some absolute phenomenal
and
cars.
they're making
rolling
them
out
with
some
robots
as well. But
that's look, they'll
at
build
the volume they're doing that, okay?
They'll build to any price point, and I'm sure Hyundai, a South Korean motoring powerhouse. Now, Hyundai's come a long way. We had a mate in just after we left school who bought a Hyundai, and the ads were "Say hi to Hyundai," and they were really lame and everything else, and it was like a bit of a shitbox.
Yeah,
but I'm telling you, it was the start of something fairly big, and now they're a massive company who are taking over the world, and they've just put a massive manufacturing plant in China.
Yeah,
it is, and they've got their design, and they've got their testing, and they've got all these test tracks, and they've got this huge automated production line, and it is off its head. And Hyundai are right up there with the world's best automakers with this state-of-the-art facility in China.
Yeah. And
close to the supply chain.
As ironic as it sounds, for a communist shithole country like China, they make good business.
Oh,
they do really good business.
They do sensible things. They do sensible things in the long term.
And it's all protectionist stuff. So China first for them. Trump's talking about America first, and he's off fighting a war for fucking Israel. Now, we can go into that.
Yeah, but
we can go into that and get complicated with that later. But
China needs a customer.
Everything China does is China first.
Yes, but China needs a customer, and America's a customer.
Yeah.
Like the American dollar has gone to China, and then China reinvests in America, and it's all very beneficial. They don't really want to fight each other. Why would you want to go fight your best customer?
Yeah.
And why would Trump want to go fight his best supplier?
The people that supply him with
who are also coming over and buying his bonds when he needs to do a raise to cover his $40 trillion debt.
Yeah, of course.
So,
of course,
it's all very intertwined. It's all very interconnected.
Look, it's no different to us. They're one of our biggest trade partners, but they're also on paper one of our biggest strategic
but that's
potential
everyone
enemies.
In Australia
it's fucking bonkers.
Everyone in Australia hates China, but go through their house, and their house is made in China. Their wardrobe will be full of China-made stuff. Their whole existence is made in China.
Made in China, yeah.
Your whole life,
but it's cheaper.
Your life in Australia is made in China.
I'd like to buy Australian made, but it's just too expensive.
Yes.
Love those principles. That's where we're at.
Well,
now.
It is too expensive because we pay too much for power, we pay too much for water, we pay too much for gas, we pay too much for fuel.
Yeah, we pay too much for staff. Our wages are sort of too high relative to how it all works. And
then, of course, to the rest of the world.
Yes, and then people go, oh, yeah, but what about, yeah, hang on, but it's all got to be balanced out.
We have got the most expensive housing in the world.
We also have one of the most expensive governments in the world.
Yes.
Our government's fucking huge.
Yes.
The cost of living crisis is the government.
Yeah, well, we are a communist socialist.
Fucking oath we are.
Capitalist amalgamation of probably 3 parts communist, 3 parts socialist, and 1 part
one part us poor bastards. Why do we keep working so hard so that we can all go broke and feed these pricks?
How are we going? Have we got any feedback on the production quality tonight?
Production quality.
The audio
I haven't heard anything about that yet. But BC's come out with, if our government wasn't corrupt, that is what would happen. However, we're dealing with a criminal government.
Absolutely, couldn't agree more. I've seen it at local. I've seen it at state.
Never been a good politician. Nothing has changed. All bad. Although I know a couple of blokes in Parliament at the moment who I sort of have a little bit of time for, but overall, as a general rule, I think you're about 100% correct.
I like
left
that
wing, right wing, same vultures.
Well, it's probably the vulture in the middle. One's got a left wing, one's got a right wing, and then there's a vulture in between.
Quality is excellent, Bruce is telling us. Thank you, Bruce.
Well, that's
excellent.
Good to hear, because we have chased
We've spent lots of time this week playing with this.
Yeah,
I just walked in as usual, swan on in, get the glory.
Well,
that's how I roll.
We've got to beat. Look, my goal is to have better production quality and better production outcomes than Temora Shire Council, because they've got this huge budget and an IT guy and all these other facilities that they can lean upon. But here we are, Backshed Productions, and I still think our audio and video is at the moment probably 20 times better.
Well, certainly,
even at our worst, we're still better. But
no,
I think we've got the ability to make it, pretty special.
pretty Mickey Mouse. Yeah, that's right. Why not?
So, and I hate looking at shitty videos, and I don't want to put you guys through it either. And I think it's much more important.
It can be frustrating.
We need to get the message across. So, look, everyone, we're all just going to agree on this. The big thing is, how are we going to overcome it? Now, the story is it's going to be here for a while. That's my gut feeling. If I had to be a betting man, I'd say we're not going to see. It's going to be a very long, cold winter, full of fear and aggravation and bullying by an incompetent government. So, what do we need to do? Well, we need to just go back to our COVID principles and make sure that all the things that we did during COVID, we do during this. Now, I put some things in place during COVID, and they haven't gone away. So I'm reasonably well prepared in that space. I haven't got 1 million litres of diesel stashed away, and I really don't see the point. What am I going to do? Drive around when everyone else is walking? I think they'd find me and get me diesel off me pretty quick. So I don't know whether you're going to achieve much by hoarding too much diesel. Even if you go and put a big 5,000 litre storage, by the time that's gone, getting any more, you're going to be in the same pond. So that's about where that's at. It's going to get really ugly in the price space. I can guarantee. I reckon we'll see $4 within by Easter.
One of the titles of the video I did the other day, $5 by Easter.
Yeah,
I reckon.
Very happy Easter. Here's a chocolate egg going the other way.
Nobody's going fucking anyway.
Yeah. So
and the other thing that I honestly believe it is, and fuck away. My head's a scary place at times, but 15-minute cities. Green dreams, all this fucking bullshit, right? Now, I've never outright said I hate electric cars. Here's what I've said. I don't want to be forced to drive an electric car. I don't particularly want one, but, I don't think if you want one, if you think they're a great idea, if you like it and you want to go and buy one, you can afford one, good luck to you, right? The spike in electric cars in the last week has been off the charts. Obviously from my perspective as an insider, I guess.
Yes, but
the inquiry on electric cars has been off the chart. Now,
I know a fellow who had a second-hand Tesla. Now, he replaced his Tesla, and when he bought his new Tesla, the trade-in offer that they gave him on his older Tesla wasn't what he considered adequate.
Yeah.
So he said, that's okay, I'll keep it.
Yep.
Well, the other day he marketed it. Well, would you believe he achieved a good price?
And I'll tell you, we've had quite a few that show up wanting to trade their Teslas over recent times, and we generally undervalue them because they're bloody always been hard to sell. They're hard to move. We don't really want them. Now we're sort of going, fuck, can we find any of these cheap somewhere? Because people are looking at them. And
look, it's
a big.
If your choice is walking or running an electric car, of course you're going to run an electric car. The biggest issue we've got is paying for the electricity. But this is just another nail in the coffin of Australians. This has been going on. This hyperinflation started in COVID, and it hasn't gone away.
No, it's not going to.
I was listening to a radio.
Venezuela, baby, Venezuela.
I was listening to a radio article
70s and 80s
yesterday morning, and they were talking to some elderly people who were struggling to pay their house insurance. Now, the article went that in the last 5 years, insurance has gone up over 50%. Now, that means a compounding average of about a 16% increase every year.
Yep.
Now,
that's just mafia protection money, let's be fair.
But there's people on fixed incomes who are now not insuring their biggest asset.
Of course.
So they are rolling the dice to the point that
and they haven't got a choice. It's not like
no. It's
not a case of they're sitting there going, "Fuck this, I don't want to do it." They're sitting there going, "We probably should be insured, but there is no logical way we can make this happen."
If you're trying to scratch out a living on $50,000 a year or $60,000 a year for you and your missus on your pension, and your insurance is $6,000, which represents about 10% of your spendable, and then you've got to put your power in.
Yeah, you have to have the audacity of having the lights on.
Yeah, and that's just insurance and power.
The lower and middle classes are going to be wiped out more and more over the next 5 years.
Well,
they're getting wiped out now. Interest rates are going to go up another 3 times before the end of the year. There you are. But put the pencil that in, guys. Three times.
Well,
what's then going to happen is,
I don't know about the interest rates. I think interest rates is one lever they can pull. But if they keep saying
they can pull it, they're not going to.
But if they keep saying they want to increase interest rates to stop inflation, I'd say, well, maybe the inflation isn't due to overconsumption. Like,
well, it's not overconsumption from the average punter. It's overconsumption from that fat, bloated, fucking gluttonous entity called government.
But there's also a war.
Yeah.
So you get inflation through that. We're getting fuel inflation. Electricity went up 36% last year.
It can't have. Albo said it was going to get cheaper because we're all on renewables.
36%.
No, that can't be true.
So we've got insurance going up 16% to 20 to 25% per year. Electricity went up 36%. How much did your pay go up?
Yeah, no, none. And then you throw in, I can tell you all the food bills are going to go fucking skyrocketing because all the transport costs are going up. So guess what? They're all going up. I'm in the process of talking about a fuel levy with our main clients. That's going to get passed back onto the customers.
A freight company we do business with on a semi-regular basis have imposed a 30% fuel levy.
Yep.
And they're reviewing it weekly.
Yep.
So that's how dire it is. There was another post I read the other day where a bloke was parking up. He said, I'm not making any money at these prices.
What's the point? And the only challenge that guy's got is, does he sell his truck?
Well, he can't sell his truck.
Who's going to buy it? Yeah. And then does he sell his truck, and to who to? Or how does he make the payments on said truck if it's not?
I think he must own it outright.
But you know what I'm saying?
No, it's not.
If you owe money on a truck,
well, you can't.
Parking it up's just not
No.
You've got to find a way to keep the bastard moving.
Yeah, that's just
find a way to pay for it to do nothing.
In front of the liquidators, basically.
What do you do?
No, so you're up shit creek. Unless you can get someone to budge on the fuel.
And that's the only.
Because you can only bleed for so long. You can only if you've got to dip into your savings and take a loss going to work for a month.
Well, that's proposing you've got savings. Now, a large proportion of the Australian population lives paycheck to paycheck.
Yeah, and that's the sad part.
A large portion. I don't know what the percentage. If anybody knows the percentage and wants to Google it up, what percentage of the Australian population lives directly paycheck to paycheck?
But the whole thing's been such. It's just had the absolute caffeine just driven into it. It's been on the pseudoephedrine of borrow, buy, grow, build, update,
collapse.
Well, no, we haven't had the collapse.
It's coming. It's happening. It's mid-process. The Roman Empire didn't collapse in a week.
No,
it happened over a period of time. And
here we are, though. We've put ourselves up there on the tightrope. We're really, really high. We've got no safety net. It's a beautiful blue sky day. The rope's dry. Our feet are dry. Everything's working good. There's no wind. But it's getting a bit breezy, and there's a storm cloud over there. And we're out in the middle of the canyon with our little stick, and it's starting to get a bit iffy.
Very iffy.
And it's starting to blow a bit, and there's a bit of rain. Like this blue sky world that people have. I don't know why people think that there's going to be blue skies every day. And that's the whole thing. All those stupid sayings of putting a bit away for a rainy day, well, it fucking makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense. But as we're pointing out, where somebody, people 50 grand a year with 6 grand's worth of fucking insurance, where do they find anything to put away for a rainy day? They're being raped and pillaged at every turn. The minute their money comes into their account's already been pillaged for, the taxes come out of it. There's the first theft. And then the minute you fill your car up, well, there's, what is it, 52 cents a litre or 52 cents out of every dollar, whatever it is in the excise. And then you get your GST on top of that, because of course,
heaven forbid if you actually deem yourself worthy to have a frothy.
Oh, fuck. Well, don't buy beer because the beer tax covers more than the fucking tax we make on the gas we export.
Yeah. And if you would actually have a cigarette, you'd be uber wealthy.
Oh, I know. At one stage, when I ran in the Eden Monero by-election, right, as a candidate, I think I had about 150 votes. I'd actually compliment Kirsty McBain, whatever her name is today. She attended some sort of an event to basically put forward that pedophiles should lose their super and all their benefits, that type of thing.
That's a fair call.
And it should, so they can't just go to jail and then come out and have all this money sitting there if they've made a heap of money in their time, which I haven't watched the entire press conference, but she actually come out and supported it. Now, she won that Eden Monero by-election where I got 150 votes, and a bloke named Ricardo Bosi finished below me on about 100 votes. So for a lot of people who are probably in the space of watching this program, you may know who Ricardo Bosi is, and you may love him, you may hate him, but he got 100 votes thereabouts, and I think I got 150. And during that period of time, I did some calculations on what the tobacco excise was, and at that stage, I think it was about $19 billion a year.
The current per cigarette tax is $1.49832. So we'll call it $1.50.
$1.50 is a fair rounding.
Cigarette. $1.50 per cigarette tax.
Big stretch. Here you go, mate.
So if you want to buy a packet of 20 cigarettes, you're going to be paying $30 tax before you buy the smokes.
Yeah.
Now, I used to smoke proper and had a bit of a crack. And I loved them to death. They were fantastic. I really enjoyed my smoking days. I'm not going to be a hypocrite to say I didn't. I missed them. But I knew that in the end, most of the outcomes are from cigarette smoking. There's about one person in 1,000 dodges the bullet, and about 999 get it between the eyes.
Yeah.
And I just thought, am I that lucky punk? And I thought, I just don't like the odds, and I just don't like the idea of drowning in fresh air.
Fair.
So I'm just going to treat these old burners like a bad girlfriend and just say, look, love you to death.
Time to go.
You're going to kill me. So just get out of my life.
Yeah.
But at $1.50 a smoke, like, my God, any wonder the black market is thriving in Australia.
Oh.
And don't think for a second that once you've had a illegal tobacconist or a vape shop in your community, just closing the shop front doesn't actually.
It's not going to stop a damn thing. No.
I imagine, and I don't move in these circles, but I imagine if I wanted to go and buy illicit substances in Temora tonight, and I had good cash money, it would take me half an hour to get on.
Oh, I'd imagine so.
I couldn't. I don't move in those circles, but I know the stuff certainly circulates.
Circulates reasonably effectively around the joint for sure.
So, like I say, the whole thing is it's outrageous. They've taxed the whole world to the point of stupidity. And now it's just, how much more can they try and squeeze out of this dead corpse? It's like putting an IV drip into someone who's been dead for a month. Nothing's going to come out.
I sat there the other day, and we actually got a flat tire, and we had to do some fucking around or whatever. Anyway, I sat there and I had to weigh up, time, effort, energy, frustration. How much I sort of make out of one project, how much I make out of another project.
Yeah, you've always got to do those assessments.
Yeah, and you kind of go, and obviously a lot of people go, fuck, you got too much going on. And I agree. Like, you on occasion go, fuck, you got too much going on. I go, yeah, I do. And sometimes I go, well, maybe if I get rid of that, I'll be able to say, da-da-da-da. In the back of my head, no matter, and I don't think it'll ever leave me, right, because it's the way I'm wired. The back of my head, the minute I've only got one stream of income, I feel like I'm a sitting duck.
Oh, no. I certainly believe that you've got to diversify and give yourself at least
25 to have half a hope in this country of paying your bills.
At least one viable option, always up your sleeve. You've got to have an escape route. If you've got the times in my life I've been happiest is when I've had choices, and the times in my life I've been most unhappy is when I haven't had a choice.
Yeah.
So when I've been that strapped and that unskilled and that beholding to one firm or one individual, and I haven't had the choice or the options in front of me, that's when I felt most stressed.
Yeah.
I can handle doing some hours or doing some projects or working hard if it's my choice and I can see what the outcome is and I know what the reason is.
Yeah. What your motivations are and
But
why.
I have had jobs when I've just felt, wow, this is dead end and I've got no options and I resent it.
Yeah, exactly right. And like I wouldn't wish my workload on most people, but there's also a bit of manic that comes along with me being me. There's no denying that.
Oh no, and I think you've got to, but you also got to keep, like, if you don't try stuff, you don't know. Every time, even if something doesn't work, you've still got valuable lessons out of it, and it will help you in the future.
If you're not generating at least $250,000 a year in the next 2 years, you're going to be on breadlines in 5. Is where I'm at with where the world's going. And remember, and I'll say this to I just see Australia right now, just before when Venezuela had its hyperinflation collapse and tanked like a fucking.
Yeah, I think you can go and you can balance that up by saying, or other things in place to reduce your costs.
Yeah. That's
so. But if you're producing a lot of your own food, if you've got some sort of community type barter systems in place where you're getting some of your needs met in other ways, then the 250 grand, it might be 250 grand or equivalent.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
But I do understand what you're saying when you look at the.
Or just looking at that historical fallout around Venezuela. I just think it's so, because I was such a resource-rich country, and then the socialists got in and took over, and then the natural progression from hardcore socialism is communism, and that's just how it's fucking designed. That's how it works. And we've got hardcore socialist governments, and ours have been getting more hardcore socialist year on year, and that includes when the fucking blue team are in, because you've got your agrarian socialists, and they're all fucking socialists, mate. And they're all on a crash course to basically control every fucking dollar, everything you do, everywhere you go.
It's a challenge to find an Australian that's not on some form of welfare.
Well, there's middle class welfare is so fucking rife.
Yes. But it is a challenge in Australia to find someone who's not on welfare.
Can't do it.
Everyone's on welfare. So.
I mean, I've never opened my MyGov account, but I'm sure I have one. I don't know what's in it. I don't know what it says. I refuse to fucking look at it. Be over my dead body. People tell me I'm entitled to a certain amount of money because I got Ryder full time. I don't want to know. He's my kid. I'll pay for it.
Yeah.
That's my responsibility as a grown fucking man.
I know when I was trying to establish a business years ago, and I was absolutely up against it, and the costs were way outstripping the income. And I just felt hopeless. And I rang up the CES, I think it was, Commonwealth Employment Service at the time, the CES.
Yeah, right. They love their acronyms.
And I said, have you guys got anything where you got like a part payment? I said, this thing will work, but it's just killing me.
Yeah.
And they said, no, you got to shut the business. Once it's shut for 6 weeks, then you can apply for the dole. And I said, well, that's not
what I'm trying. That's not the support I'm looking for.
So anyway,
I'm looking for some support. I'd like some help.
Yeah, the response was, unless you're hopeless, if you don't meet our hopeless threshold, you've either got to declare yourself hopeless and we'll help you.
I remember when I got back from London, right? And I got back from London, so I went and did my apprenticeship, fucking blitzed that. Like blitzed it. I had a trophy cabinet full of trophies. Apparently I was all right at that shit, right? Part of the apprenticeship that I added on was I wanted to go to London and do a bit of a world tour and see how I went on the global stage. And at one stage, I think I finished top 20 in chefs under the age of 26 in the UK. And I thought, I'll fucking take that.
Yeah.
I'll cop that as a result.
I know you're there.
Yeah. Dean exists, ladies and gentlemen. You'd be shocked to learn. But anyway, when I came back, of course, I fucking thought I was best since sliced bread. And I had an opportunity to open a restaurant. No money. Didn't have any fucking of that stuff. But there was an opportunity to get one started with peanuts. No, fuck, this will be all right. Let's do it. And at the time, I had, my now ex-wife. We've been divorced nearly fucking 20 years. I have to imagine. I've done the math. It's been a long, long time. A lot of people forget that I was married once. But anyway, we were, right, let's go fucking give this thing a crack. And we got down there, and I didn't know anything about business, didn't have a clue. Went and found an ABN, worked out how to get one of them. And that was about all I knew about business. Other than that, we just went and got stuck in and we worked. We knew how to cook, we knew how to serve, we knew how to put money in the till. Didn't know anything about taxes, didn't know anything about bookkeeping bullshit. We didn't know anything about any of that other crap. And 80% of that other stuff is crap. I'm going to reiterate it. 80% of the other stuff is fucking complete bullshit.
Yes, but if you haven't got some system in place to deal with it, it gets very,
very, very. It kills people all the time. That is the destructive force within Australian business. Because if you want to be, I don't know, a fucking shearer, how many forms do you got to fill out just to exist? It's bullshit. My role as a shearer is to go to a farmer and say, you got all them sheep, you want them shorn. He goes, yes, I'm going to pay you this much per sheep. You go, fucking happy days. Yeah. You go, brrr, he gives you the money. That should be the entire fucking transaction. Not, oh, we've got to send this into the government. We've got to fill this form. And fuck off, right? I've hated it from day dot. I'll hate it forever. I'm almost at the point now where I'm contemplating a bookkeeper. I've got to find one with the temperament that can deal with the fact that I fucking do not want to participate in any of your shit. I'm going to pay you a little bit of money. I don't want to know about it. That's kind of where I'm at. But where we got to with this, and we were down in Maria was where the restaurant was. Bateman's Bay was where we were living. Not a bad little spot. Anyways, and they had a big fucking sign on one of their, buildings. Small business, Hey, Katrina, we got a small business. She went, yeah. That sign there says they're going to help small businesses. We would have been, I got back from London, maybe 21, 22. We were kids. Like we had a pretty wild adventure. We'd done a couple of years overseas. By 22, I'd done an awful lot of shit, to be fair. I'd cooked in Hong Kong. I'd cooked in, been in Paris and fuck London, whatever, right? Fuck, maybe we should go in and ask these people for some help. I'm sure there's stuff we don't know. And we went in a bit like yourself, hat in hand. Oh, hey, go look, we've started this business, and it says your sign says that you help people get business. Oh, what payments are you on? Not on any fucking payments. No, you've got to be on some form of Centrelink or whatever. It wasn't Centrelink at the time, whatever bullshit it was. So, well, no, I don't want any payments. Just says you're going to give business advice and show us how to do. Oh no, we can't help you in any way, shape, or form unless you fill out this form and become a slave to our government agency. I was like, fuck off. And I think I overturned the table with the shits because I was fairly fiery in my younger days. You may be surprised to learn, ladies and gentlemen, I haven't always been this calm and meticulous. Anyway, I cracked the shits. And you people out of your fucking minds, right? You're fucking telling me that I busted my ass. I've already figured out this much of it. Now I'm asking you for a little bit of help. You told me that I'm not eligible. And
but you're going to help some bars and sitting on their birthday.
Yep. And it was all, and the key factor was which
benefit are
you on. And I've just been so full of hatred towards these people ever since. I probably was before, but I detest them. I detest everything they stand for. Until they make you a slave, they don't want to help you. And if you don't want to be a slave, they don't want to help you, and that's fine.
Well,
but don't tax me. Don't tax me.
If you don't want to be a slave, they actually put all these little fences just to sort of direct you back to the slave village.
Yes. Don't steal my money to fund shit to help them if I'm not eligible to fucking get the same help that some arsehole on the dole's getting. Fuck off. And
but the whole thing is geared to,
I believe to keep you on that treadmill.
But I believe that's driven by the large multinational corporations. The large, the large businesses.
They're all in cahoots.
Well, who has, what's the most recent big investigation being conducted? I think it was price fixing or cartel-like behaviour from the big supermarkets, or was it from Coles, the way they were treating their suppliers?
God, who knows? Probably service stations this week.
The biggest cases,
surveys are gouging to cover
the biggest cases of wage theft occur with the big companies. All this stuff, the small guys are just trying to chisel out a living, and it's just brutal. And the layers of
bullshit. So what it is, it's bullshit.
Well, it is bullshit, and the worst part is, and I've said this before, in Australia, in my opinion, there's the same amount of bosses and the same amount of workers there were 20 years ago. All the growth has been in the middle of these parasitic layer of oversight.
Of
inspectors and again, you go into the building industry and we've never built worse buildings. We've got all these apartment towers that are about to fall over and they're just substandard, but we've got all this layer of oversight, but it's corrupt.
But then you go find some stone built house that some prick's hand built with his own two hands, not an inspector or government agency in sight, and they've built themselves a fucking fort.
Yes.
And it'll never fall over in a million years.
Yeah.
And some council wanker comes along and goes, that's not up to code.
Or you build a tiny home on someone's place and you just want to park it there under the sun. And
you're not allowed to do that because you haven't got enough bits of paper from enough wankers.
Well, you haven't paid your fucking life tax.
Yeah.
You've got to pay every single thing. They're starting to fine people if their cars are parked slightly on the footpath. They're selling them blocks that are big enough you can't park a push bike on them.
Yeah.
The whole thing's just becoming so controlled and so contrived. And there is, look, to one extent, if you've got a house and you want to go and buy a cracking great caravan and then you want to park it on the street and take up all the parks in the street, that is a bit rude.
Maybe I'm a rude guy.
I
mean, I don't have a caravan, but fucking tough. But if I pay my taxes, if I want to park a caravan on the road that I pay for, I'll park my caravan on the road that I pay for.
But what if you park it out the front of the neighbour's house and he can't park his car?
Well, if he happens to go and put a fucking bat through your caravan, that's the risk you take.
The risk you take.
A jerry can of fuel. I mean, look, I sound extreme when I say this shit.
It's a very Beirut sort of solution.
I'm done with the fucking bureaucratic type solution.
Yeah.
Don't send me a fucking letter. I'm not going to read it. I don't want to know.
Can you imagine the pressure that this most recent spike in the fuel's doing to this whole society that can't afford to live where they work?
They're already busted.
That's what I mean. But
mate, I drive to Wagga 6 days a week.
That's
it cost me $220 to fill up my ute with fuel the other day,
and you would not get a week out of it.
Well, $220 gets me just on 1,000 Ks.
Yes,
and I've roughly just under. So usually I have to fill up sort of twice a week.
Yeah,
depending on whether I have any extracurricular shit. But that's just to and from work.
Yeah.
That doesn't include if I've got to take the kids somewhere or if I've got to do whatever.
No, if you actually want to have a weekend and go for a drive, like people used to go for a drive. What do you do? Sunday drive?
No Sunday driving.
I'd ring up the bank manager. Is that okay if I go for a Sunday drive?
Fuck. Good luck finding a bank manager that'll answer the phone these days.
Only around the block, dickhead.
Yeah. Like
you can sit in the car and you can make car noises.
Don't turn it on.
Yeah.
Don't turn it on.
You can go brum brum.
Yeah, mate. It's out of control. What do we got here?
It's fucked.
Emily Holden's put up a link. Emily, do you want to tell us a little bit about what your link's about? Feel free to type it in the box.
20
I'd say it's got something to do with Uncle Klaus. Uncle Klaus needs he's right up there in the club of
but even to the point now they're making e-bikes illegal.
You can't have them either.
We're going to crush your e-bikes. You can't buy petrol. Pretty much.
You fucking walk everywhere you are. But here's what is it? That's the coercive way that they're getting their 15-minute cities without fucking anything else.
Yeah.
The Great Reset, Klaus's book. Thank you for that. For those of you who do not know, the Great Reset, Agenda 21, Agenda 2030, there have been different forms and guises of these fuckers and what they've been doing for a long, long time. This isn't new. They do evolve it. They had like a Bilderberg group, and that sort of morphed into the World Economic Forum. And you can do all your own homework, guys, but there's just a couple of things to throw out there for you.
If you want to go rabbiting, there's plenty of rabbit holes. You can find them everywhere.
Absolutely. And Klaus is a dead shit. And
some of the rabbit holes, I used to think the rabbit holes are actually ports of absolute wisdom. But everyone's on their own trip. And
people find out these things at different paces.
Yes.
Some digest it more aggressively than others. I had an interesting Twitter, X now thing today where one of these videos I've put up, some ladies fucking stuck into me. And where have you been for all these years? How come you haven't been doing da-da-da-da-da? Huh? Ran my first political campaign in 2012 because I knew something was wrong. Now, I'm 45.
Yeah, I could have, if you had voted for me, I could have been Prime Minister by now. You could have said,
well, there's all these people there, and that's what they're sort of going. You should be Prime Minister. I'm like, well, I had a crack at the fucking job a couple of times.
No one wanted me.
And I got 150 fucking votes.
Yeah. What can I do?
Like, I've been banging the drum, ladies and gentlemen.
One thing that we've lost, and I've been on this a little bit lately. One thing that we've lost in this world of fast-paced, asking Google, what shoes you should wear, whether your shoes go with your T-shirt type thing, is actually gut feeling. Now, when COVID came along, I had a gut feeling that it wasn't right what was going on, the way they were selling it, the way it was all getting done, the way they were bossing people around, the way they were really turning the screws and messing with people's heads. It didn't feel right.
Yeah.
Now, as it turns out, trusting my gut
was the best thing in the world.
Accurate. Now, a couple of times recently, I've had the opportunity to test the theory. There was another circumstance and interaction with someone I had just in the last month. And I thought, I don't know whether this project is right for me. Just didn't feel right. They were sort of, I could tell they wanted me to do something for them that it probably just wasn't going to quite happen how they'd hoped. But I let them talk me into it.
Yep.
And it went shithouse.
Yep.
And I then had to invest more time than I'd allowed,
more energy, more time
than I'd allowed for to come to some agreement and to rectify the situation to their satisfaction.
Yeah.
I should have listened to my gut in the first instinct and said, no, sorry, find someone else.
Yeah.
And in this world, there's more and more people or clients who demand of you, and you've got to be a little bit careful as to what your obligations are. And I think we've got to get back to that sixth sense that we're all born with and just go.
Well, people have lost the ability to trust themselves.
Well, there's no empathy either. There's no understanding of the other side. There's no give and take. Like, one thing that we really focused on in COVID was paying our trade accounts super quick.
Yeah.
The last thing you can do in a crisis is to hang people out because they need the cash too.
Yeah. If you can afford to pay it, you need to pay it.
If you can afford to order it, you can afford to pay it.
Yeah.
It's that simple. So that's probably one thing, is we've got to look after each other. We've got to focus on, again, like what we keep saying, community. And I think we're back at that point where we're going to be relying much more on each other locally.
Yeah.
All of this big, the amount of people who just have got these remote lives that they're funding with hydrocarbons.
Yeah.
It's just going to come back down to some sort of a more local existence for a while.
Yeah.
And we're going to have to look after each other. Someone's going to have some chooks. Someone's going to have a sheep. Someone's going to have this. Someone's going to have that. And we're going to have to start
building that network up.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
It was something that started to take effect, and everyone got a start during COVID. And there were all things where people started to actually look after each other and take a bit of care of each other.
Yep.
Again, we've gone back to our normal ways and forgot about that stuff, but it's all going to have to be rehashed and regenerated. And there's going to, like, tough times, you find out
where you're at. Well, truly.
And your community. Like I say, this is where we have to focus and help each other and share some of our resources and just be mindful of the situation. But back to that other initial thought, start becoming a little bit more spiritual and starting to listen to you. Like, give yourself time and some peace and quiet just to chill out and let your own thoughts wander and get a bit of a feel for how you actually feel about what's going on.
Yeah.
Start to trust your own instincts. If it sounds like bullshit and it smells like bullshit, I'm telling you, it's going to be bullshit. So don't let your logical brain say, "Oh no," but it's coming out of their mouth. It'll be okay.
The talking heads on the TV said it's okay, so it's okay.
Yeah, no, it won't be.
They fucking lie.
Yeah, they did last time, and I'm tipping they will this time.
They will again. And then look, and you look at people like, I mean, here's a good one at the moment. There's this Carl Stefanovic, right?
Yeah.
Now, Chris Smith was another one. And there's going to be some people who, the minute I mention them, their heads are going to explode. So through COVID, both of them pushed and drilled down that everybody had to take the jab. Both of them savagely regret that they took that stance at the time. Now, a lot of people can't forgive them for that and go, they're fucking rah, 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 rah. And I go, yeah, you're right. There are also a lot of people who took the jab who didn't want it, were coerced and all this sort of thing. And we know it was poison, and we know that it was fucking certainly not fit for human consumption. The guy who invented it said so. But I look at guys like that, and I sort of think to myself about it, you know, okay, I was wired fairly quickly. I picked up on it. Fuck, I think the first day I heard about it, I went, I smell some bullshit here, it's batten down the hatches. But what I look at it, and okay, they've come out publicly and they've said, look, we fucked up. We don't feel good about it. I was wrong. Now,
I can accept that.
I can accept that. I can also go, well, you fucked up. And one of the best ones in that sort of space was Campbell Newman. Now, Campbell Newman was the Premier of Queensland. Now, when he left the Liberal Party, came and joined a little party called the Liberal Democrats. Happened to have been my fiefdom for quite a few years. I wasn't the biggest fish in the pond, but I was certainly one of the. I put 10 to 15 years into that little political party. I was relatively well regarded and achieved quite a lot of things. You know, had some successes, had some losses, blah, 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 blah. And then all of a sudden, a former Queensland Premier rings up and he says, I want to come and join your party. You guys are fucking great. Now, I ended up on the phone with him. I've had no business really ringing him, but you want to join my party, pal, not the other way around. I'm not big, you know. Anyway, and to this day, Campbell and I would say we're friendly, you know, like we're certainly acquaintances enough that we can ring up, talk to each other. And I don't think he'd mind me saying what I'm about to say, but I fronted him and I said, Campbell, mate, when you were the Premier of Queensland, those bikie laws you brought in were some of the least libertarian-based policies out of any fucker on planet Earth. Why in the hell would you want to come and join our Libertarian Party with that sort of an attitude? And I mean, for those of you who don't know, my old man was a bit of a biker back in the day and whatever. And I do take great issue with authorities telling us who we can and cannot consult with and who we can talk to and who we can't talk to. And I fronted him about as direct as I do everything. Campbell, and we were on the phone at the time. Mate, what the fuck was that? Well, Louis, at the time, look, I didn't have all the answers. I was leaning on the police chiefs, and that was what the police chiefs were rolling out. In hindsight, I was wrong. And I went, okay, all right, well, we're allowed to be wrong. We are allowed to make mistakes. People do it at different levels.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah. That's the key point. And I know this is where I'm going to have some really interesting conversations at Temora Shire Council over the next couple of years, because we are coming to a bit of a crisis in a financial sense. And as far as I'm concerned, there's one guy at the top of the organisation who's been there in the main chair since 2012, who's going to have to take a lot of the responsibility for the shortcomings in that department. Now, I think it's going to be fairly reluctant to take any responsibility. I think it's going to be blame everyone else.
Oh, fucking God, yes, of course. It's all right. I've already accepted it's all my fault, whatever's going on at Temora Shire Council for the last 20 years. Dean did it.
Yes, exactly. I know that Anthony Irvine's the problem.
Yeah, well, that's right.
Now, I'll tell you, one of the funniest things I came across.
Here we go. Sorry, we'll get a couple of these before we get rip-roaring on that. So Emily's put up here about the Sydney Morning Herald's politics, petrol ban car. Yes, that's all part of it, mate. Again, we keep talking about it. It's all leading us into 15-minute cities, removing private home ownership, car ownership. They are looking to make us cattle feedlot without a shadow of a doubt. Now, Wayne, I believe Wayne's in Wagga. Neighbourhood Watch helps build stronger communities. I believe, Wayne, you is pretty high up the right term for the neighbourhood watch. I mean,
I reckon that's a great idea.
Well, again, Wayne's obviously in the chat, so thank you for joining us. Tell us how it works. Is it a government-run thing? I know years ago when we were kids, we all had that neighbourhould watch sticker in the window, and it meant something when we were kids.
There used to be some liaison with the local police.
Yeah. And I remember there was always stickers on certain houses that, whatever. Yep. Feel free to give us a rundown of how it's all working in 2026, mate, and how it operates.
Now,
that's the idea of these programs.
I'll tell you one of the funniest things I came across over my travels during the week. And I know I had some homework and I haven't done it. So that'll be coming.
Fuck, you'll be in trouble.
Okay. This is from an email newsletter that comes out to people involved in local government on a regular basis, like daily. Now, would you believe, Dean, the headline goes, research finds growing disinformation and harassment against council leaders. So someone's finally turned the fucking tables, I say. Listen to this absolute shit.
Yeah, cool. This will be fun, yeah.
Now, this comes out of Victoria. And I think they must be a bit allergic to the truth in Victoria. It's hit them pretty hard. Listen to this shite. This is on the back of COVID and all the bullshit and everything else. The height of these people. And Victoria of all places. Yeah, Chairman Dan's Stalag.
Fuck me dead.
Gulag. The Municipal Association of Victoria has partnered with the Australian National University and the German Marshall Fund to deliver a new report revealing the scale and impact of targeted disinformation and harassment against local elected representatives. What, you mean the natives are getting restless? The research paper, the paper was titled Information Manipulation and Harassment of Local Leaders, Impacts and Implications, authored by the Municipal Association of Victoria's Head of Democracy and Diplomacy, Ike Treisberg, and GMF City's Paul Costello. Examines how emerging technologies, polarised public debate and organised campaigns are being used to intimidate, undermine and silence local leaders across Australia, because that's not what they do, is it? The report found that harassment of councillors is increasingly enabled by digital platforms and new technologies, including social media amplification, bot networks, and AI-generated and manipulated content such as deepfake imagery, audio, and video. Goodness gracious me. These capabilities significantly increase both the volume and reach of harmful content and also good content, placing new and ongoing pressures on those serving in public office. Oh, my God. And on it goes. These poor people. Locally elected representatives are often managing these hostilities. The impacts of these challenges have real-life consequences for democratic representation and effective local decision-making. It's a growing systemic challenge for local democracy. It's horrendous.
It's the challenge for democracy is when people start fucking deciding that they're not happy with the leadership, they're not happy with their performance, and they're telling them.
Yes.
That's outrageous.
The report highlights that harassment is particularly prevalent in highly polarised policy areas, including migration, gender and sexuality, and climate action, and that organised campaigns are increasingly challenging the legitimacy and authority of councils and the local government sector more broadly. Well, I say bring it fucking on.
Absolutely, because there is no legitimate authority. They are just
when they're making shit up and they actually haven't got any legitimate base to be making these orders and bossing people around and just implying that what they think is the right way to do things, I think that's exactly when people have to say, no, this is what the law says and you're overreaching. Now, when local leaders withdraw from public engagement because of sustained abuse or disinformation...
Well, that would mean that they're no longer local leaders. That would mean they're people who have titles but no leadership capabilities.
Lose diverse voices. Debate becomes narrower and fewer people are willing to nominate for council. Well, for fuck's sake, Miss Grigsby, what happens when the local council are participants in a hate piece on a local councillor and they get the Minister of Local Government involved and they have a headline like, minister chooses council over Irvine. Then they go and write this big hit piece. You know, is that the same sort of shit?
That's later denied by.
Now, that's the mainstream media and the council actually going out and doing a specific targeted hit piece on someone who's actually trying to get the truth out there. This is the thing. It's not misinformation and disinformation if it's the truth. Now, that should be the qualifying test for this misinformation and disinformation. Just saying.
I don't disagree.
This undermines trust. Bullshit.
I don't trust them
Weakens local services and creates space for anti-government agendas to gain traction. Well, if the government is shithouse, there should be anti-government agendas.
Yes, correct.
If they are overreaching, if they're overstretching, if they're overspending, if they're keeping secrets, if they're being nasty, terrible people, they should be exposed and they should be held to account before their constituents. Just saying. The report recommends a holistic response model that addresses not only individual incidents but also the broader.
Is this got kumbaya instead of pitchforks and
the broader political and technological drivers enabling information manipulation and harassment? Like, it's manipulation and harassment when you take it the wrong way. If you've done something bad and someone calls it out online, that's not manipulation and harassment. No, that's the truth. That's the truth that you've been trying to bury.
And the irony is it, right? There's obviously when you're going out there to get elected, you're putting your face out in the public. You're coming out going, I want you to trust me. I want you to vote for me. I want you to, this is what I stand for. Right?
Look,
and
well, no, I don't want
to do it.
But like, this is, in quotation marks, President Anderson. So President Anderson is
some peanut of some association, I'd imagine. The Association for Hurt Feelings in Local Government.
So the Municipal Association of Victoria, the president is Jennifer Anderson. So Jennifer Anderson, and this is a quote from Jennifer Anderson, local government is the closest level of government to the community. Well, duh. Protecting those who serve is fundamental to protecting democratic participation. Yes, but also exposing them and holding them to account. They're our local leaders. That's what they're for. That's why they're in the community, because they're elected from within the community and they're beholding to the community.
Yeah, and if they're fucking up and the community wants to let them know it, they're more than entitled to do so.
Yeah, look, this is the biggest, it's just this big victim shaming and poor us. It's the wolves gathering together saying, oh, that sheep kicked me when I was biting its throat.
Oh, goodness.
Like, it's just horseshit.
It is
the biggest load of horseshit that I've ever heard. You poor bastards, grow the fuck up. And this is the thing that I cop all the time, but I'm telling you, the bullying comes from the top down. That's where it comes from.
That's generally where it comes from.
Like, why are we doing this whole social media broadcast? Because the local press ran a prolonged campaign of misinformation and disinformation, and then there was some truth reaching a small group of people in the community via a community radio program, and people intervened and had that shut down. So therefore, the next level of getting the message out there was to go to the World Wide Web. Now, this isn't harassment, it's the truth. And if you can't deal with it, stop doing stupid shit. Simple. Don't lie, and then you won't get embarrassed. Don't do stupid shit, and you won't get called out. But if you do stupid shit, like here we are in Temora Shire Council. Oh, this isn't harassment or intimidation. These are facts. We are approximately $5.2 million in an operating deficit so far this financial year. Now, that hasn't happened overnight. That's happened over an ongoing process of stupid decisions. Now, Rick Furman, OAM, don't know what else, JP, chairman of ReRock, chairman of Country Mayors Association, known and loved throughout the country, far and wide, has been mayor of Temora Shire Council since 2012. So that's 14 years for you mathematically challenged Muppets.
How would he have any time to figure any of this shit out and solve it?
So if we're $5.2 million in the hole and it's been an ongoing problem and starting to develop over a period of time, where does the buck stop? Well, it has to stop at the man at the top. Like, this is the whole thing. This isn't intimidation or harassment. No, this is just pure fact delivered in a forthright fashion without all of the bullshit. So if you're wondering, the challenge will be when these matters are starting to get discussed openly, just how much responsibility the mayor is prepared to take for the current situation and what sort of hard decisions the mayor is going to take to address it.
We know what hard decision will be. It'll be a rate rise across the board, special rate variation. He's going to fuck everybody else as they do.
And
it's the only tool they've got in their box.
But what else?
Rape and pillage.
And what? Put more staff on, add more costs to the organisation, and then double down on the ratepayer.
That's all they're going to do.
Well,
I'm telling you, that's what they're going to do. It's all they're going to do. It's the only tool in their fucking box.
So I just want everyone in town.
It's the only tool their government has at any fucking level.
I know.
They have no
There's
skills.
already been articles in the local media grooming the local community and preparing them for the insertion of a special rate variation.
Yeah, fuck off is what they can do. They'll be getting. I'm going to start paying. Somebody sent me a thing the other day that you should actually pay your rates daily.
Nice.
That way, you literally. It's a bit of a pain in the ass for us, but imagine if the 6,000 people in the Shire literally daily paid their $3.84 to the council. $3.84, $3, whatever the
council wouldn't mind if they didn't have to see the back end.
It'd blow their fucking shit to pieces. Imagine the accounting fucking nightmare.
No, it'd be okay. No, you can soon set something up to do all that. That wouldn't be a problem.
Really? They can't get a camera to work in their fucking.
I know, but that's something that you can actually automate pretty easily with that side of it isn't hard. The council would like that, but the thing that concerns me is the rates used to be something that could come and someone could say, "Oh yeah, I just got to pay the rates."
Yeah,
it's just done.
Now they've got to mortgage the house that they're paying the rates.
Going to ring up the bank manager and say, "Oh, I've got to pay me rates. I don't know if I can." And
yeah, I don't.
Can I get a loan? And I'll have to sell one of my children.
Yeah. Fuck.
No.
So Wayne here's just said about the current neighbourhood watch.
Yep.
About 140 groups across New South Wales. Keep an eye out on neighbours, lawns, vegetables, bit of milk. But he's the president of New South Wales. So if you've got a website, Wayne, that you want to put in the chat, and anybody's interested, you're more than welcome to. They're more than welcome to, mate. No problem.
Good on you, Wayne. I reckon that's a great idea. And look, we do it locally. We've got a little network of people that we keep an eye on, and they help us out, and we help them out. And it's a part of that community. A lot of that's been lost. The whole government system doesn't like community. At least out here in these smaller communities, we actually have got some form of community. One part of this whole thing, though, that I find hard to stomach is in these small communities when they turn on you certain elements and really want to heap some pain, the amount of people who will actually get involved. But you've just got to weather the storm.
Well, there's a bit of that. Yeah,
there's
a few storms, and there's a few people who kind of lace their boots a little bit.
The good people stick around, and in the end, you come through, and everyone works out what the truth is.
Yeah.
So
not everybody, but some do, and that's always good. So Andrew's just pretty same bullshit all levels of government, but now they want us to put up and shut up. Absolutely. And here is the link, guys, to neighbourhoodwatchnewsouthwales.org.au for anybody who is interested. I don't think Temora has one currently. I certainly haven't got time to organise one, but I'd be more than happy to.
Well, I think we have got a de facto one, but.
Well, yeah, but I mean a formal one. Sometimes formalities are okay.
Now, I'm going to put this on the big screen because something's got me a little bit concerned.
Only something. Fuck, I've got a lot of concerns about a lot of things.
Oh, this one's you're going to find a bit interesting because I just don't know what the basis or the sitch is, I came across an article today, and it's current, and I've checked the basis of it. if you go to your local interweb and you type in the news thing, Daryl Maguire, it comes up with a headline, and it's an ABC headline, and it says, former Liberal MP Daryl Maguire's jail sentence for lying to ICAC overturned. Here it is. Okay, so can everyone see that? There it is there.
So we all remember Daryl.
Yeah.
Big Daz, he was banging Gladys.
That was what was happening.
Banging Gladdy.
Now, what
to no
happens? What happens when I double click on this news article?
I don't know, you tell me. Oh, that's interesting.
Yes,
Been removed.
yes.
Ah.
Now, that's a big news story.
I would say that at certainly a local level, it's a big news story. But I mean, it should be a nationally, pretty significant story.
Well,
But
New South Wales wise, it's massive.
Daryl Maguire was the member for New South Riverina in New South Wales,
But he got, basically, he got Gladys sacked.
Well, he got Gladys sacked. But he was
Gladys,
also doing some dodgy shit.
Everyone loved Gladys, but there's not
Everyone
a single. Everyone loved. Oh no, Daryl loved Gladys, but everyone else liked her.
Did they?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Who liked fucking Gladys?
Plenty liked Gladys.
Really?
They loved her. They thought she was lovely.
Oh, fuck.
Look, there's not another article I can find.
So
I
Big Daz is out of jail, and he was only in a country club jail anyway.
Well, no, he never went to jail. He went to jail. They actually put him in the cells below the court, and then they appealed, and he was in the clink for 15 minutes, and then he got released on bail.
But you're getting therapy, 15 minutes in the clink.
Now, I went to a application called the Wayback Machine, and I put the URL from that article in the Wayback Machine, and lo and behold, up came the original article.
Yeah, I tell you what, you're getting to be clever with some of this tech stuff, pal.
So anyway, in short, now this is what the article that they've taken down actually,
what it says,
what it contained. So this is what was in it when it was live. Daryl Maguire was last year sentenced to 10 months in prison after being found guilty of giving false evidence to the New South Wales corruption watchdog. The long-time former Liberal member for Wagga Wagga resigned after giving evidence during an inquiry into Canterbury City Council, and he was later charged. He had pleaded not guilty to the charge, and his conviction has now been overturned on appeal. So he's been let off.
Of course, yes.
For lying to the ICAC.
Of course.
Now, former Liberal MP Daryl Maguire has had his conviction for giving misleading evidence to the New South Wales corruption watchdog overturned. Now, I did actually go and check the provenance of this, and I went onto court lists and I checked that he was in the district court today.
Yeah.
So I don't think this is false, but I just don't know why the ABC have taken it down. So,
well, because I don't want people to fucking know that, again, one of the gang with the snout and the trough has obviously pulled in some favours, been given some favours, handed a 12-year-old boy, who knows, fuck knows. Who owns what, who holds what over who, how are they compromised and where are they compromised? And fucking, oh, well, we better get this quashed.
Well,
because I don't deserve it because I'm in the special gang. I'm fucking special.
Well,
council needs to be audited to reach this level of debt, not to do anything to rein it in. Is suspect at best. I'd go as far as to say, all right, fucking negligent, Andrew.
But
that's where I'm at with it.
This one. Today, the New South Wales District Court upheld the appeal and dismissed the charge. So during his appeal hearing earlier this year, lawyers for the former MP told the court Mr Maguire did not give evidence to be misleading. So he didn't intentionally.
I didn't intentionally lie my ass off. I
might have lied my ass off, but I didn't intend it to be misleading. I don't know. I did not. The lawyers for the former MP told the court Mr Maguire did not give evidence to be misleading. The court heard Mr Maguire could not have known what questions were going to be asked at the ICAC hearing.
That's sort of the fucking idea.
He was being asked to recall conversation from several years prior.
Fuck, they're all in on it. The whole thing's a fix. It's a work.
it is something that's just really, really, really interesting. And the fact that
it's all the work, mate.
the article got
pulled 10 minutes after it was up.
Yes.
Yes. Take screenshots, post the fucker everywhere.
Well, like I say, I don't know. And I don't know why they've taken it down. What's the flaw?
Flaw in the article is people might read it.
Don't know.
And there may be some people who may read it and go, that's dodgy. Can't have that.
Don't know.
I'm pretty confident.
Now, you keep him entertained. I'm going to go and grab the paper.
Oh, did you? I didn't notice he didn't have the paper. Goodness me, that's outrageous.
I'll get the paper. We've got to go through that. Anyway, that's just interesting. So keep your ears peeled and your eyes peeled for any news on Daryl.
Big Daz is up to no good.
Well, we don't know.
Well, you got a fair idea. And I guess like a few of you guys have been tuning in a little bit. See, I've gone a bit ballistic the last couple of days on a couple of these child protection issues. Now, a mate of mine, his name's Craig Cole. Some of you may have heard of him, some may not. He's got a moderate profile, pretty good dude, very, very passionate about child protection stuff. He was going to come on the program tonight and talk about it, but he can only be in so many places at once. He's got a march happening in Adelaide, Walk for the Children, Protect Their Innocence, Sunday, the 29th of March, War Memorial Drive, opposite Memorial Drive Tennis Club in Adelaide at 11 a.m. Now, the event is designed to send a clear message. We as a community are standing up against the abuse of our children. Our children's innocence is not for debate. Stop child abuse and indoctrination in the school system. Stop child abuse in the state care system. Stop child abuse in the daycare system. Stop child abuse in the family court system. And the speakers are to be announced. Now, that's on Sunday if you're over there in Adelaide, and we do get viewers from all over the place. If not, jump on Craig's profile. So Craig Cole, it's a pretty easy one. C-R-A-I-G with a C-O-L-E on the back. He's based in Victoria. Look, pretty passionate about this childcare, child protection thing, as am I. I'm a little bit, look, I can deal with adults doing just about whatever the fuck to each other. Good, bad, indifferent. Look, and if sexually, when it comes to consenting adults, I'm all for fair play, do whatever the hell you like. Literally do whatever the hell you like. I don't care if you're gay, straight, bisexual, and monkey's uncle.
I reckon as long as you're having fun, and as long as the people you're with are having fun,
everybody's in there. Yeah, absolutely. And that's what I'm trying to point out. Now, I posted something the other day about school, and I've had parents contacting me quite regularly the last 24 hours. A lot of them are very, very concerned about some of the goings-ons at our local school and other schools. Of course, it's escalating because I've got I suppose, the temerity to speak up and speak loudly and aggressively about protecting those kids. So people are starting to gain that little bit of courage. Now, I'm not going to be holding back. Parents, Tamora has a transgendered teacher. I haven't met this person. I don't know this person. They may be absolutely spectacular. They may be a complete fucking dead shit. And I do know transgendered people who are spectacular people. And I know some who are fucking dead shits, right? So I'm just going to make that very clear. And I judge you on whether you're a spectacular person or whether you're a dead shit. Now, this person I do not know. The complaint from a couple of parents that did come across my desk was that this person has been using the student's bathroom, the female student's bathroom. Now, I'm going to be fairly blunt here because I had some LGBT trans activists go.
No, let's just go back one step. Okay. At a junior footy club or at any other association like that, the idea would be if you had the opportunity to have some separation in that space so that you've got a set of facilities for that group and a set of facilities for that group. You know what I mean?
Well, and this is children. So there are boys' toilets for the children, little boys. There are girls' toilets for little girls.
And there'd be staff toilets.
And there are staff toilets for staff. The only right time a teacher would ever, in my opinion, need to go into a children's toilet would be in the event of some sort of savage misbehaviour. Miss so-and-so fell over and hurt them themselves.
Yeah, like
some
if there was some sort of an accident or
a safety issue, whatever.
A couple
and in which case you would expect to be the female teachers to attend the female toilets. Now, I understand this person may have some gender identity issues, but if you have a penis, your only acceptable place would be to attend the boys' toilets in that circumstance of an emergency with another male teacher, not the girls' toilets fucking ever. And also, I'll preface that by saying there have been other claims today that have come out relative to a non-transgender male teacher entering the female toilets on occasion. Now, again, if there is an incident requiring attention in a female toilets or young girls' toilets, there sure as shit had better be witnesses in the, a double up so that we're going in there to solve said problem, not just some seedy fucker going in there to no, we don't know what they're doing there, but we have touched on other cases recent times where these things have been.
And the whole thing is a powder keg, and there's so many egregious breaches of the trust that.
Oh, look, this could be a perfectly innocent.
So in this environment, you'd have to be hyper vigilant, and you would have to make sure that you had policies in place that were so transparent and so robust that they could be impossible to challenge.
Absolutely. Hence my saying that if it's a female toilet issue, you go and get a couple of the female teachers and say, "Here is the issue." You go in there and do it.
If there's a big puff of illegal cigarette tobacco smoke coming out of the toilets, and there's a high suspicion that there's people in there
smoking
cigarettes.
It would be up to the couple of female teachers in that entity to go to the female toilets or boy teachers. Here's what I'm going to say as a dad. I'm a girl dad now. Isn't that fucking terrifying? In the event,
probably for a few of the young lads in the future, perhaps.
In the event that my little girl, no, and this is something one of the parents said to me the other day, "Oh, so and so is very, very lucky that you're defending her and protecting her." And I would do the same thing for everybody's fucking children, and I'd like to see more of you do the same. Right? I'm quite happy to do everything I can to protect every fucking child I can protect from these types of predator fuckwits. And if I happen to make a few of them nervous by being the way I am, happy days. They're going to be a hell of a lot more nervous if there's 50 parents all going, "This smells like bullshit. We're not going to cop it." Okay, that mouthy lunatic probably kicked the game off a little bit, but it's not just a Dean show. This is about the safety of fucking children. But I can tell you, if I have no problem if a man or a man in a dress walks into a bathroom, a girl's bathroom, and my daughter is in there, and I find out about it, you're not walking out in one piece. I'm going to hurt you. I'll do the jail time. I'll enjoy the jail time. Won't fucking worry me in the slightest. I'll go to court wearing this T-shirt, going, "Hey, Your Honour, if you're one of them, fuck you too." I will absolutely do that because these children are innocent. They are. And again, I don't care if this fucking trans activist fuckwit on Twitter today got very upset talking about hate speech and bullshit. I don't hate trans people. I don't have any problem with their sexuality or their kinks or their fetishes or their wild shit whatsoever until you bring in children, in which case that's what wood chippers were for. And I will make no fucking apologies.
Yes,
none. Not a fucking one.
As we've said multiple times, that the one thing that we do really endorse is the free choice and the ability to direct your own life. And the choices you make in your own sexual pursuits as an adult, up to you. Knock yourself out, The one thing about, people say someone like Freddie Mercury, it's hats off to Freddie. Freddie decided he was queer. Freddie decided he liked boys. Well, he got lots of boys.
He had a fucking time of his life, and I assume most of them wanted to be there, and they enjoyed his money and his cocaine and his champagne and whatever else.
Yes, and they had a great time together.
Fantastic. But I'll just finish this little statement. If you are a school teacher and the children under your tutelage know your sexuality, your sex habits, your sexual preferences, who you fucking vote for, You're not a teacher, you're a fucking groomer.
Yes.
And it doesn't matter whether you're a transgendered teacher. So just so happens it was this transgendered teacher that came up from this parental complaint. If you're a straight teacher banging onto these kids about what you do in the bedroom, I've got a fucking problem with that too. If you're you might say, I really like fucking
If
Albert.
you're a maths teacher, you really should focus on maths.
Teach them to count. Teach them to fucking multiply. I don't know about algebra. I'm not sure I can find a use for that shit. But
no, but we only had that article there the other day of a teacher that got busted.
Guy in Wagga.
Yeah.
And today after my post, a couple of people I was working with in Wagga said to me, I went to that school for a period. He was fucked. And people know about this shit. Nobody's got the fucking temerity to say it. Nobody's got the balls to say it. Nobody's got the balls to come out and go, listen, fuckface, this is unacceptable. Unfortunately, I don't fucking care. I'm no more afraid of the school board than I am tackling Michael McCormack in a debate as a deputy prime minister or any of these other fuckers. If you're doing wrong, and that's fucking wrong in my opinion, and anybody who disagrees that child protection is important, probably needs to have a good hard look in the mirror. Anybody who's sitting there cheering these fuckers on, hey, good on them, let's go and fucking root the children. You people are sick fucks.
Yeah, all the Epstein files and some of the allegations that are buried deep in those are just so disturbing that. Right.
That's fuck me dead.
Once a week, this absolutely
trash,
legendary publication is foisted upon us.
Foisted upon you? I fucking don't buy it.
Well, I do, and like I say, they
aren't worthy of my $3 a week.
No, well, look, I'll invest because there's a few local jobs, and every now and again there's something worthwhile. Now, the main reason is, of course, because we all know that our illustrious mayor's an absolute media whore, and this this segment of the show is called Rick Picks, and I think the record is 11 appearances in one little edition.
One little newspaper.
We've got some collector's editions of the Timor Independent, and they are very rare. One of them has actually got the correct date but the wrong day on it, so that's very rare in a newspaper. Another one's got the wrong price on the front of it. And another one has got 0 appearances by the mayor. So they're all very rare newspapers, believe you me. Now, in today's Thursday, the 26th of March edition, on the front page, there are no pictures of our mayor.
That's outrageous.
Yes. Nothing on page 2, nothing on page 3.
You and I upset any of the police this week?
There's a little bit of more regional stuff. There was some drugs seized in Young, and there was some.
Well, they're obviously just trying to pay their mortgage or fucking get enough money to put some diesel.
There were some fraud offences allegedly totalling more than $800,000 in Junee. That's pretty serious.
How much?
$800K.
Oh fuck! Again, that's only a couple of fucking tanks of diesel.
Yes. Well, anyway. So bang, bang, bang. Page 3, page 4, page. Here we go. We got the party started on page 5. It took a while.
That's Mahuki's in there. He's there with all of his Labor Party buddies.
Yeah.
We are a part of the Labor Party out here in Timor and Air, which has got all these old Nat libs that are around the area here who support the mayor because he's been so, lib Nat for so long. This guy spends more time backing up on the fucking Chris Minns and back up on Minzy and fucking what's the other Albanese's.
Well, we didn't say it rings of Mork and Mindy. What did we say? Dork and Minzy.
And fucking poor old Mahuki there. Like, I mean, look, he's a funny little fellow. I don't mind watching him in Question Time sometimes. He does come out some slightly funny shit.
Yeah, but
he is a filthy little communist.
If I was going to give him a nickname, it'd be Murky Mookie.
Murky Mookie. Fair call.
Murky Mookie.
Fuel prices could rival the 70s.
Yeah. Noel goes on a bit of a rant.
Oh, Roy Butler got to fucking go. I don't mind Roy. Roy and I get along all right.
No, he's all right. So here we are. We're all the way into page 8, and we've only had one.
I only had one. Somebody did the sack for sure.
Oh, if I was Noel, I'd be nervous.
Noel's got to be shitting himself, surely.
Yep. And here we are, even in the council's own paid-for feature.
The Narrabri News.
Yep. There's a full page, 2-page spread there of council news, And no, not once.
Not once. Jesus.
Wild
dog control.
Wasn't out at
Didn't go to the races?
Didn't go to the Arlington races. Wasn't at the passions on the field. There were cameras out there. I can't believe he didn't make it. Rabbit baiting.
Oh, there we go.
Here we go. Oh no, well he's put his own mayoral minute in, so he's probably supplied the photo. He's got the mayor bling on, looking pretty proud of himself there.
He loves that Flavor Flav clock, doesn't he?
He does love the Flav.
Ooh, yakasha!
He does love the Flav. Look at that.
Woo woo!
Right?
You know what time it is?
Yeah. Yeah, it's BS time. Okay, three.
You're three.
So pretty slow start, but he's starting to build.
It's surely he played for the Tuscarettes on the weekend, or the under-17s netball girls. Was he in that team?
No.
Fuck, I'm stunned.
No, didn't play golf. No.
Undefeated minor premiers. It's all happening here, isn't it?
Good one. Go, girls.
Good on you. So three. Didn't make the back page either. That's not him scoring the try in the Dragons jersey.
No,
just checking.
No. Okay,
three. It's only a modest turnout. No, you might still have a job.
And he supplied one of them.
And he supplied. Well,
he probably supplied.
I'm sure he supplies most of them.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay, so that's.
I haven't been shy of the odd photo op in my time, and there's a certain amount of marketing and media and leverage that many of us do these days, and the only
you've got to promote yourself.
Oh, for sure. But the only variable is I haven't commandeered somebody else's local newspaper to do it using ratepayer funds.
He's paying for it.
Yeah, with ratepayer funds. So you're using ratepayer funds to promote and market. So.
But he is an absolute media machine, and he uses every avenue. That's what I mean. But the big question on everyone's lips will be, who's going to take the blame for the problems in the place?
No, fucking they're mine. I did it. Like the climate change, I did that too. Yeah, fuel prices are on me. Actually, I had an interesting. Somebody said to me today about Steph Cook. I don't rag on Steph. Like generally speaking, I think she doesn't. She's not in there doing anything foul shit. Right? She's not doing anything in there where I go, I've got to call her out and be an ass to Steph. I don't want to be an ass to Steph, right? But somebody mentioned something, and they talked about how she's got 21,000 followers on Facebook. Right? I've just hit 35. I've got more fucking followers than Steph. I've got more followers than McCormack. I'm like famous.
Maybe you're saying stuff people want to hear.
It could be that, but I tell you what, it was quite a funny little thing because I hadn't really cottoned onto it. Because a few people are going, fuck, man, have you noticed? I go, you sort of notice because you're pretending and lying if you don't notice.
But
when you start comparing it and going, fuck, how many more people follow me around the internet than the fucking former deputy prime minister and the current sitting member and that's pretty wild.
But you do say more interesting stuff.
Look, I'm probably a bit more colourful with it for sure. But that was just a funny little.
Speaking of
there you go.
Speaking of our ex deputy prime minister.
Yeah.
Apparently, there's been another matter raised. There was an issue with a poster that Michael Exarian put in his shop window in Wagga in Fitzmaurice Street that got him into Mr. McCormick sort of was lobbying for some charges to be.
Yeah, how's that all going?
Well, that's still ongoing. But then apparently there was another episode or another poster that also drew the ire of the constabulary. So. Mr. Exarian's now facing 2 charges, and apparently this one's going to make it to the big stage, and they're talking some constitutional type level.
Anything I've seen come out of Mr. Exarian, is that his name? Exarian, whatever his name is. I have a feeling he's stark raving Green's fucking loony lefty, fucking off his head, off his tits.
He does do some really interesting stuff,
but. He seems to have principles. He seems to stand by his principles, and he seems to have the courage of his convictions.
Yes.
And I have more respect for that than I do for
flippy floppy
people who stand for whatever they think's going to get their ass kissed on any given occasion. I don't think I would agree with that guy on fucking maybe
No, but I'm sure you.
Or we'd be looking for maybe 5 to 10% that we could fucking break bread on. And one of them would be his right to free speech in that space. Now, I don't know if he's a stark raving lefty Greens lunatic. He may completely oppose my free speech to say the things that I say quite often, but I would absolutely support his right to say whatever he wants, whenever he wants, as long as it's based in truth. That's my only caveat. If you're going to come out and call me names, make sure that they're truthful names. You want to call me an asshole? Fair. You want to call me rude? You want to go, oh, fuck, you swear too much, whatever. If you come out and say some completely libelous shit, then I've got a problem with your speech. That's the only time I'm going to have a problem with anybody's speech, is if you're outright fucking lying. And if you're going to lie about me, you better make sure you've got pretty fucking solid arguments to put forward. But there's not much you're going to roll out about me that I wouldn't go, yeah, fuck, did that anyway. You know, with him, that's about the only thing that I feel like I could probably, really go, oh, yeah, cool. I'm a free speech absolutist. You have the right to say anything you want, in any context you want. Just be truthful. If you're going to lie about somebody else, there will be fucking consequences. That's all. They're the only consequences you should worry about. If you want to turn around and say somebody's fucking fat, well, if they are fat, that makes sense. It's not a nice thing to say, and that fat person may want to punch you in the face. They may punch you in the face, and that's also their right to do, and your consequence for your action. You know?
Look, poor old Michael, he's got 2 matters now that he's in court for, so it's just going to, well, again, I'll defend his right to have his opinion on that stuff as much as I defend anyone else's right to have an opinion on things. Like, he's allowed to do it. He's allowed to put a picture up in his shop front. It's his frigging shop front.
It's his shop front, yeah, absolutely. Do we
don't like it? Look across, look the other way. Swipe
absolutely.
left. Absolutely. And
agree wholeheartedly.
And the same thing, it's always the same, isn't it? If just the poster could have gone up there, it could have sat there, it could have provoked a bit of a thought from anyone who passed by, but giving it this great big...
all the airwaves.
Yes, it's just created this massive ridiculousness. Now, you'll recall that after last week's council meeting, there was a couple of, and I haven't been back to get the transcription of it, but I will. Yeah. There was a couple of really interesting statements made. Now, one statement on behalf of the council was that in order for them to lawyer up and to represent in a GIPA matter at NCAT, they estimate that the average cost of that is $20,000 to the ratepayers. And this is them defending me asking for information as a councillor, but also as a community member. Now, this will surprise some people, but currently, and I've just had confirmation this week that another matter's been listed. So currently there are 4 matters live. So on current budgeted figures that have been estimated by council officers, we're talking about
80 grand.
Council are going to spend $80,000 of your money not giving me information that I've asked for. Now, we're going to go into each one of these in depth as they unfold, but you will be gobsmacked by the stupidity of these undertakings and how hell-bent on keeping important information from the community this council is. So, again...
Sunlight's the best disinfectant, kids.
And don't, whatever you do, council have put forward in last week's council papers this argument that because they're the council, they have to have legal representation in these matters. And the simple fact is, no, they don't. They can send their public officer to represent them in these matters, and it'll cost them a fraction of what they've estimated.
Well, if they wanted to get a result, they did somebody from Parks and Gardens, or they did somebody.
No, but even to the point that if they want to
get somebody,
if they want to avoid the cost, they just give the information.
Yeah, of course.
Simple.
Yeah. But if you're going to defend it, you don't get your public officer. You get somebody from some department that might actually know how to do some stuff and use, you know.
Well, the public officer represents them in legal proceedings, but like I say, this is a really interesting situation, and I know that the narrative being pushed by the hierarchy will be that it's my fault because I asked for information.
You keep asking these questions.
I asked for information.
We don't want to tell him. It's a secret.
Yeah, and I'm a community member, and I'm entitled to the
You can't know our secret.
Yeah. You can't ask questions.
Fuck off.
Anyway, so I've asked 4 questions, so that
4 questions cost them 80 grand because they refuse to just answer the fucking.
And I think last time they estimated, we've had some running tallies on codes of conduct. They've spent about 120 grand so far on codes of conduct on me. One of the most recent NCAT things was 52, another 80, 50. Yeah, well, it's starting to add up. It would be so much easier. And this is the thing that I want people to really remember. I didn't start it. Council treated me really, really terribly back in 2018 when they reneged on a contract that I'd worked on for 6.5 years. And they broke their word and they were pigs. And when I called them out and I said, look, you've been pigs. I've done a heap of work in this. You owe me 150 hours labour. They said, we're not going to give you that. And I said, well, bullshit, you're not. You frigging got me to do the work on the undertaking that I had the job. You know, so I gave them an invoice on the 23rd of August 2018 for 150 hours labour. And would you believe on the 9th of August 2019, I got paid that. But that was after. It probably took me 300 hours to rip that 150-hour check out of their dying hands. These are the sort of stupid people we're talking about. These are the people who will spend $1,000 to stop someone getting paid rightfully 10. So, and it's your money that they're wasting.
That's why they're happy to spend. It's not their money.
Yes, if it was their money, it'd be a totally different kettle of fish. So anyway, that's the status quo in that space. There'll be more to come on that. Yeah.
Well, it's been a fun little program.
It has.
And we've gone to an hour 40. We usually try to get the.
Be nice to each other. Don't panic, whatever you do.
Don't panic. How do you not panic?
Don't panic.
I'm panicked.
No, don't panic.
This is my panic face.
Yes.
That's how I look when I'm
Don't panic. Look after each other. Fact check everything the government says. Trust your gut.
Like and share and subscribe and all that shit.
Trust your gut. Do your own research.
Be grown up.
Yes.
Be fucking grown up and protect the fucking children.
Yes.
Everybody have a great week.
Oh, see you next week.